There we go. Okay, all set. All right. I'm going to go ahead and introduce Amanda Blackburn. She is Brokerage Health Sales Director with Mutual of Omaha. She has graciously agreed to help us pull this particular presentation together, and she's got somebody there that she will introduce to help her go through the presentation. So go ahead and take it away, Amanda.
All right, great. Hey, Mike, are you able to see the little box on the right side, or do you just see the presentation? We want to make sure everything...
I just see the presentation.
Okay,
so
great.
The control panel's off the screen. Very good.
All right, great. Well, thank you, Mike, for that introduction, and thank you, everyone that is joining us today. We're really excited about this new product offering, and we appreciate you guys taking the time to learn about it today. On my side here at Mutual of Omaha, I've got Glenn Miller. Glenn is the product manager over our supplemental products, and Glenn played a very integral part in the research and development of this new product portfolio called New Beginnings. So we want to take just some time today to talk through the new offering, give you a little bit of history as well. We did roll out this new product, Cancer, Heart Attack, and Stroke Insurance, on September 10th. We started taking applications August 1st. We've actually already issued some applications on this product. We are actually doing this in 2 different phases. So we've just rolled out these 3 base policies, and there's some great riders that accompany them that we're going to talk through. And then actually for first quarter of 2015, we are scheduled to launch a new critical illness product as well that will also be included within the same New Beginnings application. Just so you have a little bit of background on our product, the critical illness product has actually been out there for about 14 years now. So with all the awareness that's being created around the Affordable Health Care Act, as well as just the need for more supplemental products out there in the marketplace, we thought this was perfect timing to go ahead and really give that critical illness product a facelift. Once we do roll that out, we will discontinue the current critical illness product, and then we'll just move forward with this New Beginnings portfolio. So pretty excited about it. What Glenn and I want to cover with you guys today is we want to talk through the highlights of the product. We'll touch on how you can complete the application and what that consists of. We want to make sure you know how to submit business once you've got that first application in hand. And then also we'll just talk through some of our marketing resources and tools that are available to you that you know will be out there to help you promote this product. So with that, let's go ahead and just jump into the 3 base plans. We've got the lump sum cancer benefit policy. So it's a very easy concept, a very simple concept. Basically, once you're diagnosed with cancer, you will be given a lump sum amount, and we'll talk through those benefit amounts that are available shortly, but it'll be immediately paid once you've submitted your claim and it's identified that you have that diagnosis. And then the same thing goes for the lump sum heart attack and stroke benefit policy. Once you've been identified and diagnosed, you'll receive 100% for heart attack or stroke. It does drop down to that 25% for a first ever coronary artery bypass surgery. And also for that first ever coronary angioplasty, we'll drop that down to 25% coverage. Then we've got the all-inclusive base plan, which includes the cancer, heart attack, and stroke. Again, the same requirements are there. You'll have the 100% available for each of those diagnoses and the 25% for that bypass surgery and the coronary angioplasty.
And just a quick note, the reason for the 3 policies is we realize there's people out there that have had heart attacks recently or whatever, which thus wouldn't qualify, but they still want a cancer policy. So we've created the 3 based on the need out there. We feel the majority of our business will probably be on the cancer only, but again, we've made it flexible enough that they should be able to get some type of coverage depending on their health conditions.
Good point. Very good point. And actually, while we're talking about that, we do have a really nice marketing piece I figure I'll just point out now. It's a brochure that you'll be able to receive through American Independent Marketing, and it actually includes some different statistics that I think when you're in conversation with your clients about these policies, for example, over 1.6 million new cases of cancer will be diagnosed in 2014. That's 3 new cases per minute. And then in the United States, someone has a heart attack every 34 seconds. Every 40 seconds, someone suffers a stroke. So those are some pretty hard statistics that really get people thinking. We know that 1 in 2 men and 1 in 3 women will develop cancer in their lifetime. So we feel like these products and these base policies really bring value to your clients and should really help with some collateral sales on that end. So if you're out there marketing other products, I think this is just a great supplemental product to cover a specific need. So jumping over, we wanted to just spend a little bit of time talking about the target market. So we know that individuals in need of a high deductible filler, this would be a good fit for those people. Small employers or work site, we know that with the Affordable Health Care Act that there are some tax credits for qualifying small businesses, so this is a great thing for employers to take a look at. And then age 50 plus, people that are in retirement, if they're current med sup buyers, we just think that this is really good for those people to take a look and look at the advantages. We really identify our target market on this product as 45 to 55. The apps that I've seen come through the door are on the upper end of 50 to 75 is what I've seen so far. But I think you have a good range there that you can work with your client base. So in terms of a value proposition, we wanted to develop a product that was simplified, so it pays upon diagnosis of a medical event, as I mentioned, cancer, heart attack, stroke, or other list impairments that do meet the policy definitions, which we'll talk through shortly. It's a great stopgap, so if there is health care coverage that you're paying for and there are those high deductible plans and you are diagnosed, you need just a little bit more of a peace of mind when it comes to the finance side. This lump sum can assist with those high deductible plans and those out-of-network costs if you have to see a doctor that's not part of your network. Also, we know that if you're diagnosed with something like this, there's usually time that you need to spend away from work to whether it be take care of the treatments or a doctor's visits, so just to supplement one's income. There's lots of different ways that this money can be available to your clients, and they really can utilize it any way available to them.
That's true, Amanda. And really the key here is money is king. These people can use the money, as we're describing here, any way they want. We're basically going to send them a check once they're diagnosed, and they can use it for whatever purposes they decide. And that's great because that gives them a choice to do what they want, and that's truly what people are looking for.
Yeah, and just speaking from experience, you know, it's sad to say, but within the last year, I know 5 people off the top of my mind that have been just diagnosed with cancer in general. And I know, specifically speaking with my father, if we would have just had a lump sum amount of money that we could have utilized to do some things that maybe were on our bucket list or that would have just helped ease my father's mind from a financial standpoint, it would have made a world of difference. So I think that these products can really touch families in ways we really don't understand unless we've been in those positions. So having those conversations, I think, are important with each of your clients out there. All right. We wanted to just include a couple of slides on the definitions. We think that they're very important to understand because this is really what determines if they'll qualify at claim time or not. So just pointing these out because of how important it is for your insured to understand how the policy works is nice. And what we really like about how we've defined these coverages and these definitions is that we really go into detail about what we cover as well as what we don't cover. So a lot of times you'll see a definition and then there leaves some gray area there. We've tried to really kind of hone in and make sure that we're not leaving any gray area there. So they are standard definitions on all of these conditions. So I think I'm going to go ahead and let Glenn speak just about our actual product benefits that are available, and then he'll also touch on the application piece, and then I can circle back around with everybody on the marketing.
Okay. Thank you, Amanda. All right, so the guts of the product, the benefit amounts. We go from $10,000 up to $50,000. When you start getting a little bit higher than that, the prices do go up, but we believe from an affordability standpoint, this price range allows them to get the benefit they're looking for. It meets most of their needs. If there is dependent coverage, the dependents will equal the base amount, which is the amount that the primary insured is. So if he's coming in at $20,000, the dependents will also be covered up to $20,000. Issue ages, 18 to 99 on both cancer and heart attack and stroke. So the great thing about this is, again, our demographics or our market we believe in is that 45 to 55, 45 to 60 range, but you have a whole market here you can work with depending on who are your clients and what markets you're working in. Coverage availability, we have basically 3 rate classes. We have individual plus children, and then we have family. So depending, again, on the market that you're in, we have a price range that should be able to meet that. Underwriting. This is going to be going through our express underwriting. Since these benefits are $50,000 or less, we created an application that has knockout questions. So again, depending on what you're applying for, whether it's cancer or heart attack and stroke or the combination, you're going to have between 4 to 8 health questions. If you do apply for the heart attack and stroke, there is a height and weight chart that you do need to meet. This is a very generous weight chart. We just did want to screen out some of the very high-end ones, but overall I think you'll see that the vast majority of your clients will be able to fit that range. It's auto issue. Again, these are knockout questions, so you should know, barring any surprises, once you fill out that application, if they're answering no to everything, it should go through. So as long as you fill out the application correctly, get all the correct forms in, that thing should come in and basically go out the next day. We offer just basically standard issue, so we don't have the rate ups or the eliminations or anything, and that allows us to do the auto issue. Again, if the applications are in good order, these will process in 2 days, which means your clients get their policy sooner and you get paid sooner.
Yeah, and Glenn, I might just mention, so people are aware, one thing we're looking to do is increase those face amounts when we roll out that critical illness product. So there'll be some different variations of what is available on that new product, and again, we're targeting first quarter for that.
The other thing I'll just mention is we are only offering paper applications. There's no e-application process set up today, and we do have rate sheets available, and those can be found out on SPA. What we are doing, though, is a lot of our people that work with us use WinFlex, and we are going to eventually, hopefully in the next 2 to 3 months, get this set up on WinFlex so you can run quotes for it, too.
And just because I know we'll probably get the question from an e-app perspective, that is something that they're having discussions around and wanting to try to implement with this product. Is just something that's not available right now.
All right, distributions, again, we're in brokerage. This is unisex rates, so unisex, unit tobacco rates. One of the advantages we believe we created with this product is the coverage options. Everybody has guaranteed for life, and that's the norm out there. But what we've created is that term option. So you can do a 10, 15, 20, or a 30-year term. Again, there is an age limit on that. We only go up to age 54 to be able to apply for those. But the great thing about that is that we believe that opens up another market for us in respect that it gives us another pricing point. Because they're term products, they are going to cost less than your lifetime product, and thus it gives you more opportunities to make this sale depending on the types of clients that you're working with. We have the lifetime extension option. So you come out with the term product, the client after a year or so starts understanding the value. So between the years of 3 and 10, they can convert that over to a lifetime policy. So again, we're trying to make this easy, we're trying to make it flexible. I think this lifetime extension option goes along with that. This product is guaranteed renewable for life or the term of the product. There's no reduction of base benefits at age 65. There's a few competitors out there that do reduce benefits at age 65. We don't, and we think that, again, that's another competitive advantage, another thing that's easy to do business with and make it easy to explain to your clients. Pre-existing conditions. We do have a 12-12 out there, and this is the norm. Every competitor that we looked at has this condition or has a pre-existing condition out there. So again, that shouldn't play against us. And when talking with your clients, they're going to find that with every competitor they look at. The BSB discount. So as long as you sign up for BSP, we will give you a $1 discount. And this $1 discount is based on the mode of premium that you select. So if you are doing on a monthly basis, every month they're going to get $1 off that payment. Again, that works better for us. It's easier to process as long as it's set up BSP. So well, that's why we have this discount out there, trying to encourage it. As I mentioned earlier, we have paper applications as well as rate sheets, and there's no policy fee here. Again, some competitors do offer do have a policy fee out there. We do not. And again, I think you're seeing the theme is we're trying to make this simple and we're trying to make it easy to do business with. So let's talk about the riders. We have 2 benefit riders out there. We have a cancer benefit rider and a heart attack and stroke benefit rider. Now you may be asking, why do you have these riders when you can get a combination? Well, we realize that there's going to be times that people say, you know what, I'm more worried about me having a heart attack than I am having a cancer. And so I kind of want to load up on the heart attack. So they may take the heart attack base, and that may be, say, for $40,000, and then, okay, I'll put a cancer rider on there, and we'll only make that $10,000. And that does a couple things. First of all, it gives the client choice. 2, it also helps them dictate how much that's going to cost them. Because if they do a combination policy and they both get $40,000, that price is going to be a little bit higher. But now that they have that flexibility, it builds in that price variance now that you can work with your customers and get them something that they can afford. So let's talk about those riders. The riders are the same as the base amount, $10,000 up to $50,000. The issue ages are the same, 18 to 99. With each of these riders, and we'll go over the application with the health questions in just a little bit, but there'll be some additional questions. So if you're coming in for, say, cancer only and you want the heart attack and stroke rider, you'll have to fill out both sections of the health questions. There's a 30-day waiting period. Again, the cancer rider is only available on the heart attack and stroke, and this is available on both lifetime and term. So for the heart attack and stroke, again, the same thing, $10,000 up to $50,000, same issue ages, again with the underwriting questions. Again, the main idea with these riders is flexibility and allowing your customer to tailor the policy to their specific needs. And again, we believe these riders do that. Some additional riders that we have that you can add on to it. The cash value benefit rider. You know, this is probably well known as similar to an ROP rider, return of premium rider. The way this one works is it pays you a percentage of total premium minus claims upon lapse or termination. Now, the great thing about this, which is a little bit different than most ROP riders out in the field, is you don't have to die to get this payout. You can do this based on lapse or termination. So that gives you a little flexibility. So if you've had the policy for, say, 15 years and you need some money, you know, this pays you a percentage every year after year 5 up to 100% at year 25. So you can turn it in then and get that money. You can wait until the whole 25 years to get a full 100%. It's really up to you, or I should say up to your clients. But again, it gives them that flexibility to do that. Issue ages 18 to 60, and this is available only on our lifetime coverage. The intensive care unit rider. So many people are worried about the hospital bills and the gaps in coverage. Well, this is rider is designed to help with that. So if you're confined to an intensive care unit as a result of injury or sickness, it doesn't matter which, and you also don't have to. It doesn't have to be an ICU stay over based on the coverage, say cancer or heart attack and stroke. You can be in an auto accident and go into the ICU unit, and we're going to pay. This rider is going to pay. So that's the great thing about this. You have a couple choices: $250 a day, $500 a day, $750, or $1,000. Issue age is 18 to 64. Now with the ICU rider, intensive care unit rider, there is some additional questions, and again, we'll touch on those on the application. But again, they're knockout questions. So if the client can answer no to all of them, they will qualify for this rider. Pays up to 30 days per confinement. So as long as there's a 6-month window in between each ICU visit, we're going to pay up to 30 days as long as they're in there. Now this one, the benefits do reduce at age 65. And the reason why we do that is, as we all know, as you get older, your chances of going into the hospital and through the ICU unit increases substantially, and the pricing just got out of hand once it got over age 65. And so to keep the prices, the rates affordable, we've had to put in that stipulation that they do drop at 50%. And again, this kind of falls in line with most competitors. They do have a reduction of benefits at age 65 on riders like this. So again, I don't think it hurts us too much when compared to competitors. I also have that after age or after 5 years. And the reason why I have that is, say you are 62, again, we're not going to reduce benefits at age 65. We're going to wait 5 years, so it won't reduce until age 67. So that's what that after 5 years. So if you're within that 60 to 65 when they take out the policy, they'll at least get 5 years of 100% payout for ICU. Again, this is on the lifetime coverage only. So next we had pricing. So what we wanted to show here is we did look at some of our competitors. And we do think that based on the landscape of the main competitors that we looked at, we're right in the ballpark, if not on top. I think from a competitive advantage, we can say pricing is one of our advantages that we offer this market and offer you as well as your clients. So again, what we have listed up there is a $10,000 benefit and the rates that compare to that. So as you can see, we're on top or in the top 1 or 2 or 3 when it comes to pricing. So again, we think this is a competitive advantage of ours, and we're glad to promote it.
And then I know, Glenn, you previously mentioned this, but just as a reminder, we have a rate book that is also available that will assist with reviewing the pricing and coming up with a premium amount that fits whatever policy you choose for your client.
Now, our filing strategy, unfortunately, we don't have the most updated approved states here, but we do have 28 states approved, and maybe after this presentation we can send those out. But we do have 28 states approved. We've been selling since August 1st. We just recently got North Dakota and District of Columbia approved, so probably in the next month those will roll out. We are targeting to go out in all 50 states as well as DC, or Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands. This is taking a little bit longer than we had hoped. We're running into the Affordable Care Act and all the filings that a lot of the companies are doing right now. That is, the states have told us that is taking priority over every other filing out there, and so it slowed us up a little bit. But we do believe we got a good group right now that's approved in, and we do expect to hopefully get, close to that 50 mark by the time we're done with. And we'll continue doing that over the next probably 3 to 6 months. And then, as you'll see, we'll have announcements every month of what states are coming on and when they'll be available. So let's talk about the application. So I think what you're going to see as we go through this application, again, the theme here is ease of doing business. So the first section of the application, coverage apply for section, again, you're basically just going to indicate what product you want. If you want the cancer only, heart attack, or a combination, what riders you want, along with if you want to change up the benefit amounts, you can apply for that cancer or the heart attack and stroke rider and put the amounts there. Again, it's pretty straightforward. We have type of coverage, individual, family, coverage options. You just got to mark them. And when it comes to the time of good order, that's all you need to do. You just need to make sure all these boxes are checked, and then these should fly through underwriting pretty fast. The next section is coverage applied for. Again, this is just your basic information, your personal information. This is the same on every application, so I don't think you'll see anything sticking out here. I do remind you that on the bottom of this, we do ask, are you a U.S. citizen? That's become the standard now, but we have seen in some of the initial asks, some of the agents haven't filled that out. They seem to kind of gloss over it. If they're doing like an individual, they just kind of forget about the bottom section of that. So please do remember to fill out the U.S. citizen question. Other coverage and replacements, again, this is pretty standard. We have it there. So let's really, what we're here for is let's talk about those health questions. So for cancer, the way we've set this up is you have sections A, B, C, and D. Section A, everybody has to fill out. So no matter what you're applying for, whether it's cancer, heart attack and stroke, or the combination of the two, everybody has to fill out the first two. Again, you have your age question, and then if you've ever been advised for your medical for treatment, ongoing treatment and stuff. Again, this is straightforward, and they are knockout questions. So then the next two are your cancer questions. So technically, you only have two cancer questions. So basically, we're just asking, are you being currently treated, and then in the past 5 years. We're talking about your PSA, abnormal mammograms. Again, just standard stuff so we can screen out the people that, you know, are potentially going to be filing sooner rather than later. The heart attack and stroke questions. Again, you'll fill out Section A, that's the first two, and then Section C is the heart attack and stroke section. So again, we got 4 questions there. Again, have you been diagnosed, treated for heart or circulatory system? You know, we talk about your carotid artery, peripheral artery disease. Again, just your normal standard stuff. We have a diabetes question. And again, I think you'll see in your competitors, we are all asking basically the same thing. We might reword it a little bit different, but in essence, we're all worried about the same risk out there, so our questions are tailored around that. So if you wanted to fill out for the combination of them, now we're looking at a total of 8 questions. The 2 universal ones that everybody has to fill out, then your Section B, and then your Section C. And again, you answer no to all these, your client's able to answer no to all these, you're going to sell through underwriting. As long as everything else is filled out correctly, they'll issue, and that policy will be sent out to you within days. The last section is that intensive care unit rider. As I mentioned before, we do have some health questions there. We do have 4 health questions, kind of standard questions. Again, we're worried about those people that are going to be utilizing the hospitals more frequently or sooner rather than later. So again, our health questions are designed for that. If they can answer no to all these, again, they will qualify for this rider. Now, I did want to caveat, they got to answer the health questions, but then they also have to meet the height and weight chart to also qualify for this. So again, your heart attack and stroke and then your ICU rider, you do need to qualify not only with the health questions, but also with the height and weight chart. And again, that height, weight, and chart is very generous, and we do believe the vast majority should qualify through it. And with that, I'll turn it over to Amanda.
Great. Well, thanks, Glenn. That was very informative. Wanted to just touch on what our new business processing is. As Glenn mentioned previously, we can accept paper applications today, and you can either mail them to our Blair facility, otherwise you can fax the applications in. We've provided the fax number here, but we also have a contact card that actually provides you with information on the application submission. It includes the mailing address as well as policy delivery requirement fax number, pending application fax number, our licensing department. So you will want to reach out to AIM and get the appropriate materials so that you do have this contact card and know where to submit business to. If there are any missing requirements, the underwriting staff will reach out and notify the agent of these requirements. We're actually have the underwriting staff working through our MedSup team on these cancer and heart attack and stroke policies. Just to confirm, Glenn, isn't that the case? We've got all of our MedSup underwriters that are really processing this business.
They are.
So they're on top of things here. So they'll be reaching out if there's any missing requirements. And then as we stated, the AAP is on our radar for 2015, so we hope to have that soon. And I think I'll just jump over here and make sure you're aware of the marketing materials that are available for your use. We have a couple of different brochures. I mentioned the one that talks through the statistics for each of the diagnoses, so you'll want to take a look at that. I think that'll help in your conversations with the clients. We also have an agent and underwriting guide, so that will walk you through all of the guidelines regarding the business, and then also includes all of the contact information that you'll need there, as well as includes information on the benefits of each base policy. We have that rate book that we talked about. We also have just like a highlight sheet that basically covers what's available in just a snapshot picture on a one-page flyer. And then we have what's called our portfolio overview. We actually have this on multiple products here at the home office, and it's really nice because it's one piece that actually breaks out the differences between each of the base policies. So cancer, heart attack and stroke, and then the combination product. It goes through the issue ages, benefit amounts, policy terms, all of the additional benefits included there. So those are the main marketing pieces. Just in terms of some additional promotional material, if you do receive Mutual Matters, that is a publication in August that we had sent out, including a state map of the initial states that we released. Again, it's not the most current because there have been additional state approvals, and I'll be sure and get that information over to Mike Anderson following this call so that you guys can get that in your hands as well. But that is really all that we wanted to cover today, but we did want to allow some additional time for questions. So I think what I'm going to do now is just turn it back over to Mike, and I guess to keep it exciting, if you have anyone out there who has the first two great questions of the day, we'll go ahead and honor a corporate collection item. So if you can come up with a really good question for us that Glenn can't answer, actually, if he can't answer it, I'll still send you a corporate collections item. So, Mike, with that, I'll go ahead and turn it to you.
All right, there you go, folks. Stump the Expert is in play right now. So I'm unmuting everybody as we go through. If you don't have a question, please be a kind participant and *6 your phone so that you can individually mute yourself. That way we don't have boiling tea kettles and barking dogs and that sort of thing going on here in the background. So go ahead and fire away with any questions that you have.
I have a question.
All right.
Fire away, John.
Okay. For the state of Washington, you're not approved currently. Based on similar products from other companies, any idea of when Washington might be approved?
All I can say is right now we have responded back to their initial questions, and I think we've responded back twice to them already. So let's just say the door hasn't shut. We do think we're going to have a chance there, but we are in the negotiations or going back and forth with them at this time.
Do you know of other companies with other similar products that are currently approved in Washington?
You know, I have to admit, on the top of my head, I don't. When we did a review of all the states initially to see if we can get in all the states, they came up as a kind of a warning or red that it could be hard, but we did think things had changed in the last couple of years that we might be able to get it in. So I agree with you. At this point, I think it's 50-50, but we are attacking every state to see if things have changed, because that's what we found out with the critical illness in the last few years. It has become more of a prominent product, and I think more states are coming more receptive to it and policies like these lump sum products. And so they have been opening their doors. Georgia is a good example where they didn't have anything on their books, and they just said no to us every year. And now this year they've come back and said, well, wait a minute, we're going to write some regulations on it, and we're going to accept it. So we haven't got Georgia approved, but they basically have told us we'll approve it once we get our ducks in a row. So things like that change every year. So that's why when we're doing this filing, we're filing in every state until they tell us no.
Okay,
Thank you.
Good question. Thank you. You didn't stump him, but we'll give you credit for that one.
All right, for sure.
All right. So I got the name. I'll pass it on to you, Amanda. So,
Perfect.
all right. That was good. All right. Go ahead.
Kim, I've got a couple questions. You mentioned ducks in a row. Well, I'm just kind of wondering about, do you have any literature that helps compare with the competitors, like the duck?
You know, I can provide, Amanda, we do have some individual comparisons. I think we have some stuff that's generalized that we can provide with the top 4 or 5 companies, but if you have a specific one that you're looking for, if you can follow up with Amanda, then maybe I can see if I have information on that, and if we do, maybe we can put a comparison for you right away and then get something out to you.
Okay. You also mentioned something about on the application about U.S. citizen. So I have a couple of people that up here in Washington State that are Canadians in the United States. Those people, you know, don't have Social Security numbers. Are they not available for this type of product?
They're not. Again, our question basically says, are all applicants U.S. citizens or permanent resident card holders who reside in the United States for 3 years? So they have to meet those qualifications.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right. Good questions. Appreciate that, everybody. This is a phenomenal opportunity. This is the kind of thing that's the perfect complement and supplement to all the things that you're doing out there.
John.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is Kim.
Go ahead, Kim.
Well, I have an answer to John's, the first guy's thing is the Guaranteed Trust Life is their critical care is approved in the state of Washington.
Oh, okay, good.
So we can get that. And so my questions are, I didn't understand the term groupings. You know, can you go back through that again and explain why are they necessary and the pricing difference? Is it 10% less than the guaranteed lifetime?
Yeah, you know, I don't have the specific percentage less, but truly look at the term. Just like in life insurance, you have a 10-year term or 20-year term. So we've created that for this health type product, because that's what it falls under. But, you know, instead of paying, you know, we have assumptions that if you buy a lifetime policy, you're going to last so many years, and thus the pricing is set up for that. But if you're only buying for 10 years and you're 45, you know, the likelihood of you utilizing that goes way down, thus our pricing can go way down, and thus reflects the people that are in those segments. So I always say kind of look at the 10-year or 15-year or 20-year or 30-year term as a life insurance policy that we're so used to in that market where they offer the term product.
Yeah, and I just might add, I know on the long-term care side with those term options, it really gives you as a producer the opportunity to basically talk to clients that have a specific price point in mind. So even though we're competitive in all of our pricing on this product, if there's somebody who knows they want the coverage because they believe in it, but they know they can only afford a specific amount, by having these different term options available, that allows you to meet potentially their budget needs. So it's just an additional niche that we have that we realize other people or other competitors out there don't offer. And we think it's a great promotional piece for you as an agent to get out there and say, okay, well, if you know you can't afford the full coverage, let's take a look at the 10-year option and see if that is potentially something they'd want to exercise.
Okay. I heard an age 54 in relationship to these terms. That seems pretty young to be the cutoff to where you could apply for a term coverage.
You know,
hold on for a second, Glenn. Kim, you're losing sight of the fact that a 54-year-old that buys a 20-year term has coverage for 10 years, full coverage for 10 years longer than they would have with a conventional policy that's in the broader market. That's one piece of this space that we kind of left out when we were talking about the price point, which is very good information to have. The key idea here is to be able to make coverage available to the clients for a period of time longer than age 64.
Yep, good point. And I think, you know, I don't have the statistic, but if we would take a look, for example, at cancer and the percent of people that get it within that age range, I'm sure it's going to be a pretty high percent. So it's sad to say, but in the 5 people I know over the last year, I know each one of them, the oldest was 63 years old. So I know that this is a product that I'm going to be taking advantage of, and I know that once people understand how it works and how it will benefit them, will be huge.
Yep. Okay. Got a question that came in electronically. Does a diagnosis of basal cell cancer exclude a customer from this product?
No. I mean, basal cell is, let me double, you know what, let me verify that. I'm under the impression that it's not because that's your type 1. I think they're looking more for true cancer type diagnosis, but let me follow up and I'll get that answer to Amanda who can follow up with you.
That sounds great.
Going to receive a starter kit automatically by having signed up for the webinar?
No, you won't get a starter kit by signing up. You'll get a starter kit once we have you appropriately appointed. We'll take care of that offline.
Okay.
Other questions?
This is Kim again. I think I wrote in my notes here that there is a difference between this new beginnings product, and you said something about there's going to be a critical illness product. Are they both the same, or did I hear something different?
Nope, they are two different things. So we basically are doing a rollout in two phases. So this first phase is the new beginnings that has these 3 base policies and riders that we've just covered. The second phase is basically we're redoing our critical illness products. So right now, if you go out to our website and look at available products, you're going to see that we do have a critical illness product out there, but we've had it out there for about 14 years now. And there is a huge need for all of these supplemental products right now, and we feel there's advantages to us basically giving that product a facelift, making it more competitive and making it more user-friendly in the marketplace. So we plan to announce that product first quarter of 2015. I'm not sure if we'll be able to announce the e-app with that, but we're hoping to. And basically we'll include the critical illness product within this new beginnings application. So we'll revise the application to then include cancer, heart attack, and stroke, the combination of all of those, and then also add critical illness in there.
Well, I guess I don't understand. This seems like critical illness. The only other thing it doesn't cover is Alzheimer's.
Well, and you're right. Critical illness is kind of the umbrella, the big product. These are more narrow-focused products. So, and maybe that's just the jargon that we're using because we're kind of used to that in our company here. But to your point, you're right. This is all critical illness. It's just what types of coverages do you want or your clients are looking for. We focus right now just on the cancer, heart attack, and stroke for these products, but we are coming out with another one that will cover an additional, I think, 7 or 8 conditions along with the cancer, heart attack, and stroke.
For a different premium. So this gives us the opportunity to have all of that flexibility and options for your clients.
Okay, another electronic question. On the ICU rider, is the newborn automatically covered as they would be with health insurance?
Yes, as long as you have, well, let's put it this way. If you currently, trying to think how this is, because if you currently have family coverage, then definitely yes, the newborn is covered, as long as that rider is attached to it, yes. If you come in for individual coverage and only have yourself and you want to add that child, then that child, and I'll have to double check, but I believe then you have to go through underwriting to add that child at that point.
Okay, very good. Appreciate that. Any other questions out there this morning?
What was that BPS benefit? Can you explain that one again?
Yeah, bank service draft. So if you're going to pay electronically, basically on a monthly basis, where we automatically take it out, then you're going to get that $1 discount. If the people that want to get paid or want to pay, by check or something, when we do it automatically, it saves us money, it saves us time, so we're allowed to give that discount. And so that's really all it is we're trying to promote people using electronic payment to pay us.
And it amounts to how much? I mean, it's each month it grows, or it's
no, each month you'll get $1 off. So if your premium, say, is $25, every month it's $25, we'll take $1 off and it's going to cost them $24. So over the course of a year, if they do it 12 months, they'll get $12 off.
Okay, thank you.
All right, outstanding. Any other questions out there this morning?
Knockout question, if I may, regarding a carcinoma or a melanoma. It mentioned internal cancers. I was wondering about a carcinoma on a guy's cheek, handled by surgery, no chemo, no radiation, or a melanoma on a gal's back, just handled with surgery, no spreading, but it was a melanoma, no radiation, no chemo. Would those be knockouts?
Those would be knockouts. Those are staged, I believe, like 2, 3, or 4, depending on the degree or how deep they went. So they would be knocked out. I believe the question earlier was basal cell, which is your surface, your skin type cancer, and is that a knockout? And I am going to clarify that. But if they've had those, no matter whether they just had surgery or they had radiation or whatever it took to get rid of it, those would still be considered knockouts.
Okay, but you're talking skin cancer. That's what both of these were. Skin cancer on the cheek and skin cancer on the back.
Well, whether it's internal or external, it really comes down to the degree of the cancer. And I'm not a doctor, but what I've learned is the degree of cancer, there's, I believe, 4 or 5 stages for cancer. And basal cell is considered stage 1. And then you start going down into the depth of the cancer, and did it break the skin or break the inside of the, I want to say skin, but there's another term for it. I mean, it gets kind of technical, but I would say, on the face of it, if the doctor called it a melanoma or a carcinoma, those are usually stage 2, and those would be a knockout question.
Okay.
All right. Very good. Any other questions out there this morning? While we're waiting for the next one, I want to thank Amanda and Glenn for making their time available. I will wait for Glenn to get back to me with a couple of the answers to the questions that we spoke about earlier, and then I will include that along with a copy of the slides from this presentation. It's not intended for client use, but the slides to serve as a summation for you. We will include that and get it out to you here later today, hopefully. Additionally, this webinar will be archived and posted on our website. We usually try to have that done by about midday, so you can go to the whyaim.com site and look under news and events, and you'll be able to follow the archived version of this presentation. So, all right, nobody's holding their hand up or jumping in. So, any other questions we can deal with today? Okay, well, that sounds like crickets, which means that we probably got everything taken care of. So, Amanda, Glenn, thank you both for making your time available here to help our folks out. This is a fantastic opportunity, folks. If you're interested, get back with me. We will get the appropriate additions to your Mutual of Omaha appointment, or get you a Mutual of Omaha appointment set up, and then we can get material to you and get you out there in front of clients to start having this conversation. So,
hey, Mike, I apologize for interrupting. I do want to just make sure you're aware, if they currently have a critical illness contract with us through you, then
right.
There will not be new contracting on our end that will be needed. Just as an FYI, I wanted to make sure you knew that. But if they're not currently appointed, then we'll need the full contracting.
For the critical illness piece.
Yep.
Right. Okay, very good. Good to know. All right, we're going to go ahead and wrap things up. Thanks, everybody, for your time.